folks. Hold on. Oh, gosh. I am. Hey, everybody. Lester here. And I am moving at 100 miles an hour this morning. You hear Tex hollering and yelling. We're going to talk about Tex. We have to talk about that young man. I'm trying to send something over to my phone to send to my computer to send to you all so we can talk about it a little bit. I'm doing that right now. So I am a little bit behind. Many of you guys saw, because I'm watching in the green room, I'm watching all of your comments. And someone's saying, wait, it's 12. Where's Lester? Where's Lester? Because the live had already started, but I wasn't actually ready to go right at 12. And I'm not even ready to go right this minute. But I wanted to show a couple of things. So what I'm trying to do is weirdest thing you're going to hear all day. Let me not show that right this minute. Let me talk to you for a minute first. Let's just kind of say our hellos and everything. Yes, I had to do a lot of rearranging over here because last night we had a cold front come through and the garage doors were opened. And so without Jamie realizing it, all of the cold air was blowing from the north, sort of the northeast here, blowing right through the shop. And it blew my walls over. It blew this big fester here blew over. The little munchkin over on this side over here, he was fine. We have a lot to talk about. So everything was in disarray when I got back this morning from dropping off Lex at school. And so I didn't realize it. I stopped at Subway. Well, let me just tell you the whole order of operations of how everything went. So I drop off Lex at school at 8. I drove from Lex's school, which is in South Houston, all the way here. I'll stop along the way at the post office. I went to Tractor Supply, and then I got here. I stopped at Subway and got Jamie and I a sandwich, and then I went straight inside, and we ate our sandwich before I ever came out with about 15 minutes to spare when I realized that this entire place was just in shambles from the wind. I closed the garage doors. I kind of began to straighten a few things up. I get you all going, and here I am. So bear with me, if you will, as I finish setting a couple of things up. Let's talk a little bit about Jamie's Thursday. Poor Jamie. If you watch Jamie's channel on YouTube, she's calling the dogs out now because they're all gathered up around me. If you watch Jamie's channel on YouTube, you know that she spends her Thursday nights alone because I go and pick up Lex after school on Thursdays. And since it's a 2-hour drive to get him back and then 2 hours in the morning, I don't want to put him through all of that. And that's with traffic. So what I do is we're using Jamie's hotel points that she's accumulated, and we're staying at different places so as not to have to make that long drive and keep that poor kid in a car for so many hours right after school and then before school. But that means that Jamie's here alone, and she's kind of made it a tradition to record. Hey, babe, did you get my text? Oh, okay. I just asked, could you make me up a drink? Because I've had no time for nothing. Could you come and could you come to my makeup right quick? Adjust the lighting. I'm kidding, y'all. She will make me a drink. Jamie's freezing cold. She's freezing cold because she doesn't like the cold weather. How weird that somebody from Illinois, Chicago, Illinois area cannot handle a little bit of cold, because you think they would be used to it. But she hates the cold, especially when it's wet. And today is a wet and cold day. Anywho, so last night, Jamie was alone, and she begins to encounter things that to her is a big deal. Let me play you a snippet of Jamie's video.
And hope that he's interested in it.
Yeah, that would be.
Are you trying to be a buffalo? That's what you look like right now, is a dang buffalo. He's not going to be satisfied until it's all destroyed.
And that part is true. Um, remove that. Of course, Jamie sent me a message yesterday afternoon and asked where some things were at because she had some repairs to do. And it seems like to a lot of you that Tex waits until I'm gone before he gets into all kinds of mischief. Guys, in reality, that's every single day. That is every single day. And poor Jamie, though, on her Thursdays, when she's here by herself, is the one who has to deal with all of that. Let me turn my phone off. People are always trying to start chiming in when they know I'm live. They do it to harass me. And sometimes that can interfere with my signal. So, no, Jamie found herself, and it's a very hilarious video. If you've not had a chance to watch it, you should watch it. And I feel bad for her because those are things that's not in her norm. That's very much part of my norm. I'm used to it, but Jamie's not. And so trying to find her way, herself working with a very playful, I'm just going to use the word playful, for her having to find herself working with a very playful text. Someone is very upset with my backdrop because I'm not centered. Guys, I'm not centered. The reason why the computer is slanted is because the carpet underneath me. Y'all, let me just show you this.
And that's where my fears
Whoa.
come in. Fiona, move out of the way. Lovely.
Hold on. Let me just show you what I'm working with here. Look at that. Looky there. And so if you're wondering why my computer is setting lopsided or why is Lester leaning to one side, I'm not doing that intentional. Stop it, babies. Now there's dogs who are all, okay. Babe, I have dogs who are trying to play with the power cords now. So yes, I thought that I gave Stella. Can I just take a second to breathe? Could I just take me a second to breathe here, babe? Yeah. So all of the dogs have missed me, I'm guessing, and they all come to say hello, and they're just really knocking everything crazy. Oh, Jamie's mad at me. Jamie's mad at me this morning, not because of Tex. She's mad at me because of that little guy right there. Jamie made a video with this little guy right over here. Now, y'all know he was a character in our Halloween video. He played a very major role in helping Kenny and I escape from those witches out there in the woods. But problem is, we never put any clothes on him. And for some reason, this is the craziest thing. He has been a part of so many of my videos. This guy's been in how many of my videos? A lot. We don't even know a number, but this little shut your pie hole here has been in so many of my videos. And I've had no problems whatsoever. But you see this girl right over here? Come over here and smile for everybody. I know you're working. Come over here and smile so everyone can see you. She's so mad at me right now because she makes a video with this guy in it. And what happens?
I got banned from Facebook.
Facebook got mad at her for having this guy in her video because it was they tied it together with sexual something.
Sexual assault activity.
Guys, they call a blow-up doll, or at least Facebook called it a
no pants on.
Yeah, so he had no pants on. Okay, so he has a little, so he has pants on now because I put them on him. I went and found me some shorts, some more camouflage shorts, and I stuck a pair of shorts on him before I get in trouble. But I thought that was kind of funny and very unusual that it would be you who had him in one video, and yet I've had him in, I can't even tell y'all how many. He's been a part of the lives. He's been a part of me and Kenny's video down in the woods. He was a part of he's been in so many videos. And I think that y'all must love me enough to just hush it and just don't say anything to Facebook. Because I know Facebook don't love me very much. Facebook does not love me much as they love Jamie. But they had to get onto Jamie and remove the video and gave her a good, strict, stern warning, a slap on the wrist. And that's what Facebook will do because they were upset with her for displaying an image that portrayed sexual abuse, assault, sexual assault. And I don't get that for anything. So what I'm guessing is somebody thought it would be funny to report it. And then I'm guessing that Facebook doesn't always do their research. They just assume that what you're saying is true. They assume they can believe everybody that whatever you say is true. And so poor Jamie got reported and got the dreaded her first red flag. It comes in the form of an email to us. And so I came out real fast this morning. And one of those other reasons why I'm late is I had to put shorts on this guy. So now ain't no one got nothing to say about this fella behind me over here. Guys, it's a blow-up doll, but not the kind that you may be familiar with. He actually came in a Halloween packet. Yes, this Halloween doll came in a Halloween packet. In that body bag. When we did that little Halloween skit, there was a body bag and there had to be a body inside the bag. And that was the thing that came inside that. So we ain't no one ordered no blow up dolls around here. In saying so, could we talk about this for a minute? I don't know where all of oh my gosh, you guys went bananas on this, and I still don't understand why. I don't quite get it. So, Jamie, what I'm noticing right now is that StreamYard has changed. It's not mirrored exactly. It's backwards. So I don't know how to change any of that stuff. But what I will say is Jamie used the computer last. You used my computer last. All I'm saying is Jamie was the last one to use my computer. And so now that everything's messed up, I can only blame her. Listen, let's talk about something very serious. Let me answer a couple of questions first, and then we're going to talk about something very, very serious. And a lot of y'all already know where I'm going with this. Well, it looks like you all still want to talk about that silly cup. It's a beer can holder. Yeah, so okay, so no one's really asking too many questions about it. So I'm just going to go ahead and start talking about it. Now, YouTube, if you are a YouTube only person and you stay off of Facebook, that's fine. And I don't blame you. But I do want to let you know something that you are not familiar with yet. I have it coming out in the afternoon video today. And so I'm going to be very serious here for a moment. So, Lester did something very, very foolish. And I didn't do it intentional, obviously, but it could have been catastrophic for our wonderful and beloved herd of Longhorn. So on Monday, I went to the feed store on Sunday. So on Monday, when I was doing my feed up, I was going to deworm all of the cows. I was going to not only deworm the cows here, but also take some dewormer over to Jake for his cows over at I'm a Survivor. There's no cows at I'm a Survivor, none of our cows, but Jake has cows over at his place. And so what I did was I bought a special type of dewormer, one that I've never used before, one that looked easy to administer. I read the directions very clearly, and it said it was very clear. The directions were very clear, and it said that you have to give 1 pound of this dewormer for every 1,000 pound of cow. And so then, since there's no way to weigh your cows, we don't have the kind of operation where you can run them through a chute and weigh each of them individually. That's what really big operations have. We're not a big cattle operation, y'all. We're not a big cattle operation. Okay, we have the most famous cows in the world. We do, but we're not a big cattle operation. That sounds so dumb, doesn't it? That sounds so weird. We have the most famous cows in the world. Yet we're not a big cattle operation. We only have 13 cows, but they're famous because y'all made them that way. But let me tell you what happened, y'all. Let me get back to the serious part of my story because there's nothing funny about this. So I go out on Monday knowing that Jamie and I were going to be traveling on Tuesday, and I wanted to go ahead and do a deworming for all of the cows. And so I go get the dewormer. And what I noticed was, so we have the kind of bathroom scales. And so if you want to weigh something using your bathroom scales, like if you want to weigh your dog or weigh your cat, you can't just set your cat on there and weigh it. It doesn't work that way. Cats will wiggle and move, and your electronic scales, the digital scales, are not accurate. So what I had to do, I tried to stand on the scales and get an accurate weight of myself. And then I was going to hold a bucket and get an accurate weight of me in the bucket. And then I was going to start putting some dewormer in the bucket to try to figure out how much was a pound. Y'all, I think that you get from what I'm saying how lengthy of a process that was. So I knew that Jamie had some antique scales on display in her little garden area, her greenhouse. And so I said, this will be a lot easier. I knew they were not like heavyweight scales. They only go up to like 5 pounds, or at least I thought. So I go out, and all while making a video, I grab those scales and I start measuring out how much is a pound of this dewormer. I'm going to cut to my video of that now. This cat food can actually worked out to be quite a pretty ingenuitive idea as well. I'm on a roll today. I am just on a roll today. So it looks like a heaping portion of this might be a pound. We are right there at a pound. And so what I'm going to do is make sure that for every large cow who... All right, so I probably should have paused it a little bit before that. But guys, Lester was so foolish, and I wasn't being careful. I was not taking my time. I was doing something that could have been very, very dangerous. And what I did not realize then, I didn't realize it until someone told me when the video came out yesterday or the day before yesterday, that these scales are not actually weighing pounds. They're weighing kilograms. I'm going to back up one frame. I think you can see it better. So this is a kilogram scale. So what I had heaped in that scoop right there was not 1 pound. That was 1 kilogram. And 1 kilogram is actually equal to a little bit more than 2 pounds. Let me hide that now. And so what I ended up doing was mixing individually. I mixed the cow food with what I thought was a pound, knowing that most of our cows weigh about 1,000 pounds. And so, and then of course for Tex, I doubled that dosage. So Tex, who we do know weighs about 1,800 pounds, give or take a little bit, that. So I gave him almost 2 of those in his feed. I should have known immediately that there was something wrong, because when I put the feed out, Tex began to push it around. He wouldn't eat it. And many of you guys who saw that video, you saw that Tex kept taking his horns and pushing his food like he was trying to spill it, like he didn't want to eat it. And I just thought, oh, he's just being playful. Tex is such a goofball. He's just playful. And he finally did eat, and he ate it. But Jamie and I traveled on Tuesday, and so we left early that morning. As soon as I fed that morning, which would have been the day after, and I didn't notice anything bizarre. I just thought the cows were being lethargic because it was early morning, and I don't normally feed them early morning. And then I played the video. Today's Friday. I played the video on Wednesday because I wanted to play our Waco trip before that. I forgot, guys, my days are not running. My days are all off. I played that video on Wednesday, and then that's when I began to receive a lot of messages saying, Lester, those are not pounds, those are kilograms. Now, get this. I never noticed. Now, of course, I wasn't here all day Tuesday. We were traveling, but I was here all day Wednesday. And so once I began to receive and get some of those messages saying that, Lester, you gave the cows the wrong thing. You gave them kilograms. That's not. Oh, that's when I began to panic. I panicked and got on the phone with the vet. Of course, I go to Google and I do all kinds of researching on this and that. And man, if you don't know how beside myself I was with all of that going on and me being a nervous wreck and just so worried that I gonna overdose and do something to hurt my cows because I love them like my own children, y'all. You know how you love your pets, and these are my pets, and I love them so darn much. And I was on pins and needles, I think is an expression we all might know. Um, but I just couldn't help but just go around to every single one of them and just try to look and listen. And you can't go up and touch on them, you can't go up and feel on them. The vet was giving me some things what I might would notice, and I didn't notice any of those things. So today is Friday, and so now we've been all of Monday night, all of Tuesday night, all of Wednesday night, and all of Thursday night. So, guys, whatever they ingested on that particular day has worked itself all the way through their systems now, and they're going to be fine. And, but you don't know how upset I was with myself. You don't know just how upset I was with myself for being so foolish and for not thinking and for not reading and for not being careful. And especially when it comes to dosages, you just have to be so much more careful than that. And of course, right now the biggest concern is our sweet little Trinity, because she's a calf who's still nursing off of mom. And so that means that whatever dosage mom got is that's the way it works. It passes through the system and goes, into the milk, into the baby. And that baby, in fact, might be too young. Now, there was nothing on the packaging about not giving to lactating moms, nothing. So that made me think that it was going to be okay for the baby to get, through the milk, but to get such high amounts was frightening. But as of this morning, as of Friday morning, today's Friday, as of our time right now, Friday, everybody's fine. The big cows just now came back off the river and they passed along the trail. I just watched them do it. I saw every one of them. I can hear Tex screaming and hollering at him. So I know he's fine. Everyone's good. So for the folks who saw that video this morning on Facebook, I appreciate you for being so kind and not just throwing rocks. Not throwing rocks at me, not trying to throw fruits and veggies at me, like in the old days. But for those of you who are going to see this video this afternoon when it comes out on YouTube, which will be, I put it on I'm a Survivor, I believe. I put it on I'm a Survivor because that's a larger audience, and I wanted the larger audience to be able to see what was happening and to understand what happened. Just know that I'm so sorry. And no matter how upset you are with me right now, there ain't nothing you can say that's going to make me feel worse than I already feel about myself for what I did to those poor babies. And I'm just so thankful and so grateful. And I'm just, guys, I'm just so darn thankful that they're all going to be fine. But that was quite the mistake. And I will not do that again. It's funny. Everyone says you learn from your mistakes. You learn from your mistakes. That's why pencils have erasers, and which is funny because it's true. You make mistakes, but that would have been a mistake that I don't know if we would have ever got over that, y'all. I don't know how you would ever get over that kind of mistake. But no, we've made mistakes, y'all. Everyone makes mistakes. Someone says right there, everyone makes mistakes, Lester. Don't take it so personal. Everyone makes mistakes. I'm kissing. I'm not just kissing on my own belly, y'all. I'm not just kissing on my belly. Stella has come up. She wanted some loving. Can you get my lap? She's not really one to get up in my lap. I'll try. People have not seen you in a while. You want to look at the camera and say hi to everybody? Because she says, I forgive you, Daddy. I forgive you. You can do whatever you want. You're not such a bad guy. You've been good to me. Thank you, Stella. Get back down now. All right. So that's something that is kind of big in the news, in our news, something I wanted to talk about this morning. And just to reassure you all that so here's what the vet said. I'm going to get this all wrong. But do you remember when last year when I was out in the yard and I was putting the ant poison around to kill the ants? We had some fire ants here in the yard. And I was going around with the ant poison, and Carl heard that click, 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 click noise of the spreader, and he got upset and he came at me. And so if you remember, I took that spreader and I tossed it between me and Carl, trying to slow him down. And he spilled the ant poison all over the ground, and he chased me down. And you all remember that. That's not a big deal. It's, it's just the day I almost died. But I did not clean off that rat poison. I did not clean up that ant poison right away. I had to come in and change my shorts, find me a belt, catch my breath. And by the time I had gone back outside, all of the baby birds, because they were still babies at that point, all of the baby ostriches had walked up and they had eaten all of that ant poison off the ground. I mean, and it was heap, y'all. It was, ant poison. It was heaps of it. And by the time I got back out there to see what was going on, those baby birds had just pecked every bite of that stuff, and it was gone. And that terrified me. That was, once again, that just was terrifying. So I called the vet. They didn't know. They had no idea about ant poison with birds. They had no idea. So I found the packaging, and I called the 800 number to poison control, and I asked them. And then even they were like, ostriches? And they were scrambling, trying to figure out what to tell me. And these are the people that are kind of like trained in all of this. And I finally got somebody on the phone who explained to me the way it works. So even though it's rat poison or it's mouse poison or it's ant poison, to rats or mice, or in this case, ants, the toxicity level that you need to kill the rodents or to kill the ants is not toxic enough to kill the birds or to harm the birds. And sure enough, that none of our birds had any issues. It never bothered them in the least, from what I could tell. Yeah, they never skipped a beat. All of our birds were fine. It still scared me, but all of the birds were fine. And so the vet kind of explained something, not in the exact same terms, but she kind of explained the way, I think they call it fendomazole. Fendomazole maybe is the type of dewormer that we were using. And the way the vet looked it up and called me back, and I'm sure they called their people over at A&M and whatever universities they all come from, the consensus was that particular type of dewormer is effective for the parasite. It's very effective on the parasite. And so when an animal ingests that dewormer, it's not attacking the animal. It's not affecting their organs. It's attacking the worms. And so it was more than what they needed, but it wasn't enough to cause them any bodily harm, besides possibly over salivating, maybe there were other types of things that could have, the lethargic, maybe not having an appetite, by being maybe sick in the stomach, possibly having the scours is like animals, like their version of diarrhea. But no one felt that there was any kind of threat of anything neurological or anything like that. But it still didn't make me feel any better. I felt good to know they weren't all going to die, but it still terrified me to know that I gave them double the dosage of what they should have gotten. And so I'll go ahead and let that go with that. I think that I've explained it. Now you know my perspective on the whole thing. It was a human error, me just trying to work and get some things taken care of, and not paying attention, not paying close enough attention. Probably should have had a pair of these with me. If I had a pair of glasses in my pocket, I probably would have maybe been able to read closer. But what's done is done, and the animals are fine. And then I will say this, for those who are worried about Jake's cows never got the dosage. Kenny and I, this was the day that Kenny and I went over together to I'm a Survivor. Kenny was with me. That's my neighbor, Kenny here. We went over together to administer the dewormer to the cows. But Jake had already gotten moo back home, and I left the bucket. Jake never come and got it. And isn't that a amazing twist that Jake never got a chance to come get the dewormer and give it to all of his cows? He said he'd already given his dewormers and he was fine with them. And so ultimately, so no, it was nothing that anyone has to worry about at the other property. It was only my longhorns. But it was scary. It was very scary. And then I guess the last thing I'll say about it is I just want to say thank you to you. That's all of you, for not being so hard on me as I was on myself. I felt that I had a duty to tell you. I felt like I needed to tell you, and I also felt like I wanted to tell you, just because that's what we've always done, is we've talked about everything. We always joke and say the good, the bad, and the ugly. Now, sometimes you have to give me some time to talk about things. It has to be on my time when I feel comfortable. You don't want to see just if I would have come to you on Wednesday afternoon, you would not have wanted to have seen me on Wednesday afternoon. I can promise you that. But once I realized that all was going to be fine, yesterday being Thursday, is when I went ahead and made the video talking about what had happened and how scared I was. And then letting you all know that Lester really bit the bullet on this one, and how blessed we are. I keep calling it blessed. I don't want to say lucky, but just how blessed we were that all the animals seem to be fine and we're not going to have any lingering issues. I still can't help but keep an eye on that baby, Trinity, and she's just a bundle of joy. Now, it's raining today, and the cows are not as active on rainy days as they are when it's nice and pretty. But everyone's going to be fine. Okay. And then I guess the last thing I want to talk about is this morning. Now it's time for me to get on to some of y'all. I'm kidding. At this point, I just want to tell you how proud I am of my son, Lex. I'm proud of Ellie as well. Ellie, I think that y'all know how proud I am of Ellie and all that he's done, and what a great man he's becoming, growing into. He's helping so much and doing, he's just a wonderful fiance to Megan. And a lot of men could take and learn from Ellie, and as far as the patience and all that he does for her, and he lives to serve her. A lot of men could learn from him. A lot of older men could take lessons from a very young man in that respect. And then he's learning his way around the farm as well. But this morning I was talking to Lex on our way to school, and I says, tell me the 10 most important things in your life. I don't know what what I was going for, but sometimes you just like to find ways to make your kids talk. You know, they get to an age and they stop talking. They don't want to talk as much. And so I'm trying to encourage conversation. So it was cute that Lex says, well, the number one most important thing in my life has to be, and he starts going through the things that he loves the most about life. And of course, you know, you get the usual answers. He just, you know, loves his Xbox, and life would not be the same without having his Xbox, and how much he loves his Xbox. And then he talked a little bit about how much he loved. I mean, at his age, at the age of 12, life without PE at school would not be the same. He loves PE. That's physical education. For you guys who don't know what I mean, PE is physical education. That's PE classes where the kids go out and play sports. He loves going to PE every day. He loves PE. And hey, I was the same way. I get it. He continues on. He talks about his love for soccer. You know, he really likes to play soccer. He loves to play football, American football. And so he goes to, he finally comes to number 6. And he goes, he loves taking notes in school. And I'm like, passing notes? Nope. He don't want to pass notes. He likes to take notes. I'm like, you like to take notes? And I never heard a kid. I've taught school for 25 years, and I never met a kid who's that age who would tell their teacher or their friends or anyone else that they like taking notes. And so I says, Lex, I have to record this. I got to record this. This is crazy. This is crazy. I got to record this. And so I did. And so since a lot of you guys don't watch Facebook, let me go ahead and play that for you real fast. And then we're going to talk about it because I got in trouble by you. The weirdest thing you're going to hear all day. I'm asking Lex for his top 10 favorite things in life. His top 10 favorite things in life. And would you believe, yeah, you get your normal Xbox, soccer, football. There they are on the floorboard. Do you want to know that in his top 10, number 6 is he loves taking what?
Notes at school.
Why do you love taking notes at school? Who does that?
I don't know. I just like taking notes and then taking the test, and then whenever I pass them, I feel really good. So
he loves taking notes at school. I don't know. So I thought that was the cutest and the funniest thing ever, and so funny that I wanted to make a video. And Lex was completely fine with being on camera. Guys, if you haven't noticed, my children, my nephews, my niece, I don't think you can name a Morrow or any relative of the Morrows that doesn't mind being on camera. And so I was not brain bashing for as many people who says shame on me for brain shaming. I think the word is brain shaming. I was not shaming. That was not a shaming video. That was me loving and bragging on my son in a way that he and I can banter back and forth. And I hope that for the hundreds of people who commented on that, most of them were impressed by a kid, a 12-year-old young man who enjoys taking notes. And I was able to get a lot of stories from you all. Many of you shared your stories about how you always thought, or how you always were the same way. You have always enjoyed taking notes. Even right now, as I'm able to see a few of these comments, you're talking about how smart that is and how great that is and how impressed you were. And I was the same. As a dad, sitting in the car about to drop his kid off at school, I was just so darn impressed that, wait a minute, I've never in my life thought out of his mouth would come, he likes taking notes. He likes to take notes. But I wasn't shaming him or trying to embarrass him, and he wasn't embarrassed in the least. And I think a parent knows their kids enough to know that, y'all. You see things all the time. And maybe I think that sometimes people project how they would feel. If you're a shy and bashful person, and many of you might be, you would be embarrassed if someone turns the camera towards you and says, "I can't. Oh my God, how crazy are you? Are you nuts? You know you're nuts, right?" And that's in fact the way I was acting with Lex, which is the way he and I play. And as a father and son, we do that. And I was just a little bit disappointed. I'm not getting on anybody, but I was just a little bit disappointed that what a fun and funny and just an adorable video that I made just on a whim, just made it on a whim, came out to where I would say a percentage of the people just took that as me being just this horrible father figure, and by shaming my kid on social media. The moderator, we have a moderator now. If you haven't noticed, we have a moderator, and we've asked our moderator not to reply, but to just remove. We've asked them to just remove. That's the best way to put it, is just remove. Yes, we are paying for a moderator. Now on you may have noticed that on YouTube or Facebook, we don't like a lot of replies. If we're going to reply, I will reply. But we're mostly just trying to have the moderator jump on immediately after we post, so that we can squash all the negativity as fast as possible. Because it is true that negativity does spawn more negativity. And you allow one person to say something mean, and then all of a sudden someone else puts a thumb to it. And then all of a sudden you got two people that put thumbs to it. Next thing you know, you have people that are replying to that mean comment with their own mean comment. And then hence spawns, Satan's demons come out of everywhere. Everyone begins to go, "Oh yeah, this is fun to be mean," and tell Lester what a jerk he is to his kid. Let me show you the way at that little. Anyone that likes to take for yourself.
Stay in school.
Stay in school. Yeah, knowing you're gonna be in. You'll probably go to like high school, and then you'll go to college for a 4-year degree. Then you'll stay in college for a 6-year degree. Then you'll stay in college for a PhD to become a doctor, and all because you love taking notes. Who's gonna pay for all that? All right, I love you so much. Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Take some good notes today. Enjoy your note taking. I love that boy. Okay. I don't think that half of those negative commenters ever made it that far. Same video. You watch just long enough to see Lester shaming his kid, and then you begin the attack, the assault on the page. But when he got to school, I told him how much I loved him. I says, "Now have fun taking some notes. Get on, you note taker." And then as he closes the door, I say, "I love that kid. Guys, I love my son. And I really do. And so blessed for both of my kids and for how wonderful human beings they are, just good humans." And so my son likes to take notes. I had no idea. So, but no. Anywho, listen, I don't have a whole lot for you besides I wanted to get off my chest about the cows and give the YouTube folks a chance to kind of know what happened, and then let them know how everything was. That also lets you all know that since the video was made yesterday, Thursday, today, Friday, is another 24 hours, and they're all still good. So since it all happened, I think that we're going to be fine. Don't be upset that we don't make videos and post them the exact same day. Sometimes it takes, well, I'm just going to say this again. It does take time to edit, upload your videos. And I have a box cutter. I'm just going to open one gift. I have one gift here. God forbid we don't get another one of these, because it looks like it may be about the same size. How many of these does a guy need, huh? I still laugh at that. It's the cutest thing. Boy, I just got the giggles yesterday, though. I had a box cutter in this area And so, see, Jamie starts messing with my stuff when I'm not here, y'all. Jamie messes with my stuff when I'm not here. And all of a sudden, now I can't find what I need when I need it. And don't say the wind blew the box cutter away. Wind does not blow box cutters. Darn it. Well, I'm going to just open it. So, okay, it does come to Lester Morrow, but this is really, really cute. I want you to look at it very carefully. Read right there if you can. Can y'all see that? To Lester Morrow, our Longhorn Lester. I don't know why. I think that is the sweetest thing. Oh, I got some good news. Don't leave yet. I got some good news to share. Do not leave yet. I got good news as soon as I see this. This comes to our Longhorn Lester. Oh my gosh. Guys. My God. This person can sure pack. Oh, Lord. I think they went through an entire roll of tape. Oh, Lord. Oh, no. Okay. Woo. Woo. Safe. Looky here. Look, it has my name on it. And all of these Longhorns. That looks like it was done with the vinyl. It has a straw. It's and oh no, there's a note. There's a note. Uh-oh. That was so cute the way you said our Longhorn Lester. Let me get my glasses on here. Y'all ready? It starts off really powerful. I hope I can read this. God, I hope I can read this. Oh no, it's all out of order. Here we go. Lester, I had this made for you. It'll keep your coffee hot and your Dr. Pepper cold. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you for all you do for the animals, but mostly what you do for me. Uh-oh. This is going to be a tearjerker. I don't know why. I'm feeling emotional. Mostly for what you do for me. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lordy. I'm just going to read here to myself because sometimes I think there might be things. I'm going to just jump to her last page over here where she puts in caps. I am a survivor with a big old exclamation point. I have survived many things, and one day I look forward to telling you all about it. But for now, just please accept this gift from me to you. She says, P.S. I love your humor. That's funny. I love your humor, and I get it. I have the same mindset. A lot of people don't get my humor. I feel like a lot of people don't get it. I'm sorry. I got to wipe my eyes. I don't know why. It came out of nowhere. It's just been an emotional couple of days with those cows, y'all. I've been so worried about them. But thank you so much. What was her name? Did she ever say her name? Did she ever say her name? Patty? Y'all help me with this over here. What does that say? Right here. I think that says Patty. Thank you so much, Miss Patty. And I will absolutely enjoy this with my coffee or my Dr. Pepper. And thank you so much for that. Well, my friends, I want to thank you all for taking some time with me this morning, hanging out. Oh, I told you this was, oh, yeah, some good news. Some good news. Who wants the good news? So everything is going so well with the inspections, the surveys, the soil samples, the appraisals, and we have a closing date. You're not going to believe this. We have a closing date on the new property for next Wednesday. What day is that going to be? I saw it in my email, Stephanie, who is working as our realtor, was very surprised that this county works so fast. And Stephanie, none of us really are familiar with this county. Next Wednesday looks like it's going to be the 15th. So if all goes well, we will have and everything's going well. There's nothing that's holding us back. Everything seems to be going so smooth. I don't know if it's the time of year or maybe people are just not buying right now. And so those businesses, those appraisers, and all of those businesses are maybe not behind. Maybe they have time to get out and get things done. The offices are all open, or for whatever reason, it is going so smooth. Longhorn Lester's took a whole lot more time, and there was a whole lot of things, but this process on this is going so darn smooth. And so I believe the 15th, November the 15th is next Wednesday, is what they have planned as the closing date. I hope that that's not confidential. I don't know why it would be, but what that tells me is that in the contract, the sellers asked for an additional 5 days after closing to get their cows off. So that means that even if we give them, that will be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, even if we give them till the following Wednesday, and we're not going to rush them off, y'all. But my cows want grass. My cows want that. My cows are chomping at the bit to go get some good green stuff in their bellies. But it looks like we may have our cows moved over before December. And what I will do, the first thing that I will do, let me tell you the steps I'm going to take. So here we go. The steps I'm going to take. And by all means, if I forget something, fill me in. Step number 1, I'm going to drive my truck over there and physically get out and walk the entire fence line. I will walk the entire fence line around the entire 50 acres. I'm going to walk every stretch of that fence because I need to know, are there any spots? Because y'all know that my cows have a tendency to get out, right? Y'all do know that my cows have a tendency to try to get out. So I will go and I will personally walk every inch of that fence line, and I will make certain that it will hold the longhorns. So that will be step number 1. Step number 2, I will make sure that I get a water trough over there full of clean, fresh water, and that the water's good and that the cows will not be going without any fresh, clean water. I will take my tractor and I will buy a lot of ryegrass seed, which is winter grass. Now, it's not going to come up right away. It's going to take about 30 days to actually come up and be ready to eat. So I'm going to hope to get that winter grass spread out, and hopefully we can get a little bit of rain around that time. And as soon as you get a little bit of rain on that grass, it should go ahead and come right on up. And so the cows will have whatever's green now. And if we do have a frost, a heavy frost, a freeze that ends up killing the grass and making it die back, then it'll only be a short time before that winter grass comes up and they'll be good. I will take over rolls of hay. We will get Jamie's RV moved from the place it's at now in Cleveland, and we will move it to that spot. And when the cows are over, I give you my word, I will camp out with them. I'm going to probably camp with them for a week. I will camp out with them. I'm not going to camp. I'm not like Brokeback Mountain camping, like that kind of stuff. I'm in why did I say Brokeback Mountain? I'm not like camping like in a tent, cowboy camping. I'm in an RV, okay? And I'll be fine. And I will stay with them every night, kind of monitor, watch, and listen up for whatever kind of predators they have in their area and whatnot. And we will be good. We'll be good. And then now, as far as all the specifics, as far as which cows go first, which ones go next, please allow me some time to figure all that out. Let me figure all of that out. And then as far as the name, it has to include Jamie, y'all. Jamie has to be included somehow in all of this. So I just think that we should probably take that K and have somebody who has a cutting torch cut it off, and then have someone that does that kind of lettering do us a J, and then we can have someone come weld it up and just make it JL Ranch. We could think of a really neat brand, J maybe, and then an L that comes off of it like a brand, maybe. Do y'all know about brands? Give me 1 second. I know if I ever do this, you're going to completely disown me. If I ever actually have to use this, you will completely disown me. I already know that. But this is what you have. This is called a brand. And what you do is this to a rancher, this here becomes the same thing as like the Golden Arches does for McDonald's. The same thing that you begin to identify with. Well, it's called a brand for a reason. It's your brand. And so you have to have a brand. You don't have to use it, but you have to have one. Don't y'all be mean to me. I'm not using it. Why do you have it if you're not going to use it? Guys, I'm not going to use it, okay? But if I'm not going to use it. Oh, why did I even show y'all? This is the Longhorn Lester brand. You have to have a brand. There's an I'm a Survivor brand. Next time I'm over there, I'll show you, or either I'll let Ellie show you, but there's an I'm a Survivor brand. My dad has a brand. Uncle Dan has a brand. And that's just something that you do when you're in the ranching industry. Even though we only got 13 cows, y'all, we only have 13 cows, but they're world famous. Oh, this is the I'm a Survivor brand over here. Y'all seen that so many places. Y'all seen that all over the place. It's the rocking M. It's an M that's on a rocker. And that's the I'm a Survivor brand. We have one of those on an iron like we have this over here. This is the Longhorn Lester brand. And so Jamie needs a brand. She doesn't have one yet. And so we're going to, even though our Longhorns are going to be moving over there for the grass and for our hay crop, Jamie needs a brand, and I want her to be able to experience that. So we have to make sure we can somehow put Jamie into that property. And so the L's fine, Jamie, the JL Ranch or whatever, but we have to have a brand. And so if you want to know how this works, so for those other types of ranchers who don't mind sticking to their cows, they take a torch, a heating torch, or old schoolers will just build a fire. They get that fire going nice and hot and put this down in the coals. And so a lot of you guys, I'm reading a lot of comments, a lot of people know about these, and a lot of people are saying it doesn't hurt the cows. It's just, well, I don't know if it does or if it doesn't, but I just cannot see myself doing it. But you get this nice and hot, and then you either have to tie your cow, hold your cow, or put your cow inside of a chute where they can't run. And then once it's nice and hot, you stick it to their back end and it will singe into their skin. And so, and then they are forever branded with which ranch they come out of. That's why you see the numbers on Tex. That's why you see it on Santana. But I have never branded any of my cows because I know that y'all would disown me if I did. I know you would disown me if I did. I already know you. I can get some stuff by on you, but I know if I ever brand a cow, y'all are going to disown me. I know you will. Go ahead, and it's okay. I'm not mad at you, but I know you're going to disown me. So I will never brand a cow. Oh my my gosh. Yes, it is like a tattoo on humans. It is very much like a tattoo on humans. They do freeze branding, but that's also a burn. They will do chemical branding. That's also a burn. So, um, one thing that a lot of people do, but it's only temporary, is the ear tagging. They will tag an ear, but guys, those tags will come out. And so I don't know what to say. I don't know. I'm not going to try to defend any of the other ranchers that do brand, but I also understand if you spend the time and you spend the money and you create a product, it's the same way when you turn in your term paper, you have your name on it. When you do a painting, you have your name on it because you created this product from your hard work, from all of the things that it took, the blood, sweat, and tears of you creating your masterpiece. You want to have your name on it. And so people put their names on things that they want to represent them. And so that's why a lot of ranchers, when they spend the time and the money and they work to keep these pure breeds, and they finally can get them pure breeds to produce an offspring, and then that offspring is going to go out into the world to produce other offspring. Sometimes they want everyone to know where that offspring came from. And it is like a badge of honor. It is like a badge of honor for that. Maybe it's a little bit narcissistic, maybe it's a little bit narcissistic, but I will not be branding any cows. Okay. My cows will stay with me forever. And for the ones that can't, like the Santoros of the world, they'll be sent off, but they will never have a brand. Guys, it's not microchipping. You're not microchipping cows to relocate if they ever get lost. A brand is a public display. It's the same way as wearing the shirt. It's just like a public display of your brand. It becomes synonymous with who you are, and it's your brand. So I want Jamie to have a brand, and so we're going to work hard to make sure that we can get that ranch named with her name on it. So from Suits to Boots Ranch, I don't know if we're going to do all of that. I'm not going to say no. I'm not saying no. Whoever said from Suits to Boots Ranch, I'm not real sure about that. But brand is a logo. Why couldn't I think of that? Thank you, Paula. Where'd that go? Paula, that's so smart. Yes, your brand is your logo. And every company has, a logo. It's a brand. And so don't be mad at me for having one of these. It was a gift, y'all. It was a gift. And I'm not going to use it, for Christ's sake. Someone screams, microchip. So let's just put this into perspective. I'm a deputy sheriff driving down the road, and I see a raging bull cross in front of me. Uh-oh, someone's bull got out. Let me walk over and scan that bull. And let me try to find that microchip. Guys, think about what you're saying. That ain't going to happen. That ain't going to happen, y'all. That ain't going to happen. However, if that deputy sheriff's driving down that road and he sees that bull and he drives up alongside of it and he sees that LHL on his hind end, I'm not going to show you all my hind end. He sees that LHL on his hind end. Oh, that's a Longhorn Leicester bull. Oh, that's an I'm a Survivor bull. Oh, that's a Rocking M. And so the brand becomes, y'all don't get it. Some of y'all don't get it. Some of y'all do get it. I'm not going to brand anybody. Okay. That's all I wanted to say. I'm not going to brand anybody. Okay. So good news coming up on Wednesday. I don't really see any questions. Thank y'all for focusing on the positive and allowing me to make my mistakes, and you have grace enough to forgive me, and you have trust enough that I won't make those mistakes again. That means the world to me. All right. So thank you all so much. We will catch you guys on the next video. Okay. I promise you that. And hopefully I'll have all this area cleaned up. I'll have everything organized the right way. And and I won't come in breathing hard and being out of breath from having to rush so much. Okay. All right. Y'all have a good one. And we will catch you guys later. Have a fun day. Okay. You know what? I just can't end it so easily, can I? I just got to find some better way to end it. Not like that. There.